Greetings, boars and ghouls. Have you ever needed extra firepower to knock down that sneaky stack of red cups? Well, what you need is one of these. This has 5 rounds and shooting down things as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, stay tuned and you'll learn how to make this one. You will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the giant popsicle sticks. These little wavy sticks, you're going to need about 5 or 6 of those. I've got 5 of them here. I may have to grab some more. But I got about 5 or 6 of these. And about 5 or 6 of these standards right here. And 1 regular size one right here. Now, I will tell you in advance that you may end up needing some extra ones of these when you start trying to carve out your notches. I'll show you how we start this now. First thing we're going to do is take one of these big ones here. See that we're going to disqualify that one right off the bat. See how that's split right there? You got to be watching that. Basically, what happens when you're dealing with a lot of thin wood is you're going to have some splittage sometimes. Now, so we'll start with this one right here. What you're going to do is you're going to come up here, cut this very end of it, and leave it a little bit flat. Grab the one next to it, and do likewise. Let's check on our glue gun. That's going to be your receiver. That's where your rubber bands are going to be going. Okay, we are ready. If you can't get your glue gun, regular glue will work. I'm sure Gorilla Glue would work. And you got to be quick getting it on here. Like so. And if you have a bit of idiosyncrasy, like I just did, just kind of do that. Got just a little bit of, because this is not really going to matter all that much. Now, here comes the tricky part. You're also going to need a knife, a pair of scissors, paints. So what you're going to do, let's go ahead and get our barrel glued in place so we'll get an idea of where that's at. So what you're going to do now is you're going to cut one of these tongue depressor type sticks down. Going to cut it like so. We're going to glue that into place, and that's going to glue right along here. And remember, the further up you glue it, the better capacity, but you can't glue it up too far or this thing will be structurally unstable. So you're going to measure one of these off now, another one like this, and you're going to glue. You want this to glue evenly right here. You're going to make sure you got to have another one glued into place right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these two. We're going to cut these two down to equal size, and we will glue those in place. And that's going to be your barrel, and then we can work out where we're going to be putting the notches for the firing mechanism. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here, put that in place. Now you're going to come right here. You're going to edge this back just a little bit. Now you'll see we've got a little bit of unevenness right here. You just kind of, there you go. Now, I'm going to come up here on this one and do the same thing. And that's going to be the middle of the barrel. And there's the flat barrel works better with this. Trust me. I'm going to grab another glue stick. You'll notice we go through a lot of glue sticks. The glue stick companies we're not sponsored by the glue stick companies, but we could be. Hey guys, call us. Because I'm not just an advertiser for them. Well, I'm not actually an advertiser for them at all, but if I were, I'd be saying I'm not just an advertiser, I'm also a customer, but, well, this ain't the hair club for men, so What are you gonna do? So now you got the frame and you got the barrel and part of the receiver, but we don't have any capacity yet. So what you're gonna do, we're gonna start right about here. I'll go ahead and carve this out. You gotta carve out this notch, and you gotta be real careful. Kids, if you're doing this project, have your parents do this part, because we don't want any tragedies. Gotta be very careful. See, we got a notch, but that's not gonna hold your rubber band. So you gotta get a real steep notch right there. Otherwise your band will not hold. And it needs to be fairly deep, because the power of what you're dealing with is going to be so great now. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing this. I'm going to go ahead and carve out these notches. Now, it's also good, maybe handy if you have one, to have a rubber band handy. So I'm going to grab a rubber band out from over here if I can find one. Now what this is for, okay, you see how that's popping loose? That means that it's not going to be a reliable catch right now, which means that you need to carve it out a little bit more. But yeah, this is about as close as you're going to come to a submachine gun without cracking your knuckles and tightening, you know, straightening up the brim of your fedora. So you got to be real careful. So what we're trying to do is trying to get something that these bands will hold on to. So let's try that out. See how that's kind of a nice little sharp tooth notch? Let's see if we can get this in place. Once we're happy that that's in place, oh yeah, perfect. Let's do that again. So we'll come back here a piece. I don't know how many rounds, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get into this, but we will try it and see. As I got to be real cautious, I don't want to damage the notch that's already in. Trying to get this new notch in place. Just depends on where you start, whether you can get this, with how many rounds you'll be able to get out of this. But let's see if we can get this sawtooth going here. And see right there. There's your problem. See how that split right there? Split off. That's going to be an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and I'm just going to try to glue it back. I don't know if it'll hold, but we'll try it and see. Now, we'll have to see if we can get it carved out. Now I'm going to have to come back over here. And I may end up having to build a new receiver, because that's going to, I'm hoping it's not going to be an issue, but it could very well become a problem. So, I've got it glued back, but I'm not real comfortable with it. Okay, let's try this and see if the second thing catches like it should. And it does. Okay. Somehow we dodged the bullet on that one, so to speak. Now, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut a little bit away from this one, because I really don't want to have another incident like that. We're going to keep just kind of gently just working our way in. You don't have to rush this. This is actually going to be a fairly time-consuming one. For that reason, I may end up having to change batteries at some point on the camera, which means that I'll have to, you'll probably have it where the footage will change a little bit. I don't know how many rounds. I don't know what our capacity is going to be on this one just yet. But we are getting there. Now, let's try that one now. That's actually a very good looking notch. Let's see if it holds up. And it does. That's 3 down. And only one little hiccup that I managed to address, so that's good. We'll see if I can put a 5 round on it. The original had 5 rounds. The one that I just showed you has 4. But that's because the way that I set it up, I think I can get 5 on this one. So like I said, it's just all on how you do it and how you arrange your thing or whatever, how you arrange this. You know, and I don't know what sort of craft sticks they've got where you're at. Now, carve it out a little bit more. Okay, now we need to carve in a nice little flat notch in it. Let's see if our band will hold on that one. Okay, I'm confident with that. Let's see if we can carve one more. But you can see what we're doing. This is going to be set up right here, and then you'll have a trigger that'll be on your hand grip that will be the firing mechanism. You just kind of keep working it back and forth, back and forth. Because what you're trying to do is just kind of even this up. You can pay the price real quick if you're not careful. And end up messing this thing up, and it's a lot of work trying to start over again. So it's just best to be cautious. Do it slow, and you won't have any mistakes you have to fix later. And you won't cut your fingers off or anything like that. See, now I'm going to come in here. I'm trying to make sure you guys the camera can see this. Let me check this and see if you guys can see what we're doing. Yes, you can. Alrighty, now I'll try to get this where you're not getting a glare from the light now. Alright, you can see what we're doing now. Good deal. Alright, let's see if this 5th notch will hold the thing. Not quite. Don't feel it's holding it, but it's just not a real comfortable hold. So let's cut it just a little bit deeper, or at least just a little sharper. Now let's try it, because you really don't want it misfiring, especially the ones in the back. Ah, yeah, nicely done. Now let's make our hand grips. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of the wavy sticks, and we're going to cut it. I want to cut it kind of at an angle like this. That's not going to really matter a whole lot because it's going to be underneath the frame. But what you're going to do is you're going to have it glued in right about here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put your frame right in there. Now, you flip this over. You're going to have some other ones right in here that are going to fit just a little bit shorter. So we're going to cut one of these down, and let's see how it fits. Alright, I'm going to cut it at a slightly less sharp angle so it'll fit. And it does. Okay, good. Now, we'll go ahead and get this one into place. It's gonna be that's gonna be your hand grip right here. I gotta have one more. Oh, so we've got this one right here, and we're gonna cut it down. It's gonna glue in right here. And that's gonna even in. That actually makes for a very comfortable hand grip, I might add. And now you got your outer scales for this, and they will fit in like so. Now, see, now you've got your hand grip. Your stock is the next thing up. And for the stock, we will grab, we'll scoot this up here where you can see what I'm doing with the stock. Right here. Let me move this light because I'll try to see if I can get some better lighting There we go. That works. Now, let me see how this looks on camera. Alrighty. I'm going to have to get me a black one of these. They'll look much neater. Alrighty. I'm just going to try to get some light, but I don't want so much that it's going to blind everybody. So I'm working with this light just a little bit to try to get you, the viewer, the best view. Now, what you're going to do now is you're going to cut your stock down like so. Cut your stick down to size. Now you're going to have this here extra. You don't want to keep this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab this one right here. Like so. And you're going to glue these into place right here. So let's do that. And it's going to fit into place right there. You flip this over. Now then, you got two more of these wavy sticks, and what we're going to do now is just going to cut them in half. Just straight up cut them in half. And that's going to be your stock. So I'm going to try this camera from a different angle. So I'm trying to get the best possible view for y'all, for the viewer here. So as we're doing this, so you can kind of get an overview of what we're doing. Alrighty. This is what we look like right now. And you're going to glue this one. Oh, well, provided I don't throw it in the floor. And that's going to glue into place. Right here. Now, that's going to fit like that. Hang on just a minute. Alright guys, I restarted the camera and I darkened it a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing. Alright, I'm going to have to get a new glue stick. Like I said, I have a feeling this battery's going to go dead any minute now. But, let me get these stringers out of the way. And see. Now, I'm going to have to probably cut some of this back. Just a hair. Get some of these stringers off. And see, we got a little bit of an unevenness, but that's going to be alright. We're going to fix that. Now, again, we've got a little bit of extra sticking out. I don't like that, so we'll just trim it off. The last thing is the hand grip. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do the hand grip. So, but the way we're going to do it, we're going to take these two pieces of big stick that we got here, and we're going to cut them off right about there. And we'll cut one more off at that size and cut it in half and kind of cut it down to the size we need. Actually, this one here needs to be cut just a tad shorter, and you'll see why in a minute. Because this piece here is the firing mechanism. This is the trigger piece right here. So let's lay our gun over here while we're building the trigger piece. So your first step is to take this the longer piece, do that, and even this up. Now you're going to take another one, do the same here. I think we're going to end up needing one more, I suspect, because if you'll take a look, no, maybe not. See? So now, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and cut down now. Let's do likewise here. We're going to set that up. Now, I have simplified the trigger group just a little bit, but we'll see what we can do here. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come up here. Now, I got to test this hand grip as soon as I get it into place here. Now you see your hand grip, you'll hold it like this, and you'll see that'll catch each one of those and flip it off in turn. Now, let's come up here and I'm going to turn my camera back around this way, and we'll carve out the notch on the end of this thing. So again, kids, be very, very careful, because you don't want to cut your thumb off or anything, any other appendages that you might need sometime in your future. Then we got to do one quick test. This one here involves a lot more hit and miss than some of the other designs that we've had. So here's how we're going to test this. Put your band on. We're going to test this by loading it and okay, so we know that side works. Let's go to the next round, next chamber, and do it again. Magazine up. That's a problem. Ah, there it goes. Well, we may end up having to do a little bit of tinkering here. Let's try this again. Okay, that should have went off. So what that tells me is I may end up having to add a little bit of an edge up here on this thing. But that's okay. We've got some scrap wood from where we were doing the popsicle sticks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in two. We'll glue just a little bit of a header right there. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll glue a little bit of a header right there just to give us a little bit of height. And that should take care of it. And we'll try it again. And from the top. And I got that a little too high. Got it a little uneven. That's not good. Let me get this blade over here. Get this extra glue off of it. And let's try gluing this back now. Sometimes, if you have to, you can do it like that to ensure that you're that if you're wanting something to be even, that's a good way to do it. Now, let's try this again. It's going to have to fit in over this, so let's go ahead and fit this in. There we go. Let's try this on the third one now. Okay, there we go. Let's try it on the third. Third round works. Now when you're loading it, you always want to load and have your magazine in place when you're loading it. So we'll grab this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, fourth one works. Back up here, reload the mag, the hand grip the target, or the trigger grip, and we'll do this one more time. Just basically wanting to make sure that all mechanisms work. And they do. Okay, now, the last thing you need. And I've got a piece of tongue depressor over here. And this is going to snap in two. Well, I was hoping to snap it in two a little more evenly. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take us one of these and snip it in. Snip it. And make ourselves a set of rabbit ear sights. Now, got a little bit of extra, but that's going to be okay. There we go. Now, the rabbit ear sights will fit right up here. I'm going to have to get some more glue. We go through the glue sticks. That we do. I'm going to have to... Actually, before I do anything, I just realized... There you go. I'll have to even this up. See how it's kind of sticking up. So I've got to put... Got to grab a glue stick. It's one of the more complicated builds, really. Now, I'll go ahead. Remember I told you we needed one standard sized craft stick? Well, here's why. And what that's for is to add a little structural integrity to your weapon. Now, I'm not going to add a whole lot, but it will at least add a little. And where it doesn't, you kind of seam it up. Now, you will have some rabbit ear sights, so what we're going to do is put those in place here. And there you are. So, the next thing up is going to be a coat of paint. So, turn this off, turn off the glue gun. Move this around here. And we'll be back with you in just a minute. Alright guys, we're back and we're about to start painting. So, get your paint containers here, and we've got some Tangelo orange. Grab my paint rag, because you gotta have it. And now, I'm going to go ahead and paint this one up. Let's remove the magazine clip thingy here, the hand grip. We'll paint it separate. We're going to go with this kind of a pale orange Tangelo color. And let's see how we do here. Now, I don't mind telling you, this one here, this particular rubber band shooter might not last very long, because I plan on sending it over to a friend of ours on another channel, and I've instructed him and his kids to put it through the mill. I want to see how well built this thing actually is. I figure it's made of popsicle sticks. It's not going to last too long, but I'd like to see just how sturdy this thing actually is under fire. And I figure you can't test reliability or any of this other stuff unless you've put it in the hands of people that are actually going to use them and use them hard. So I figure it's probably not going to last too long. Like I said, it's cobbled together out of lightweight wood, but we'll see how well it does. Got to remember, these things are more or less designed as science toys or office toys type things, and you really don't expect those kind of things to last very long. So we're going to let that, we're going to paint that, and we're going to paint this side here, and paint the hand grip, the front hand grip, and we're going to let that dry, and we'll be back when it's done. Go ahead and paint this side up. And let it dry. Be back with you guys in a bit. Alright, we're back, and we're about to start painting this next color phase. As you can see, I painted both sides because I figured painting one side, painting the other, you guys are going to end up figuring it out anyway. So the next one we're going to go to is this yellow here. And get my paint rag over here. Now, what I'm suspecting I'm going to try to do is maybe like a lizard or a tiger skin type tiger stripe pattern, but I'm not real sure. Maybe I might even go with some sort of fractal, but we'll see what we can come up with. Let me shake this paint up. Invariably yellow wants to separate, I don't know why. So we're going to see if this maybe bleeds in too much. Yeah, that's going to blend in. So what we're going to have to do is go with a different color scheme. That yellow is going to get in the way. It's not going to work. Yellow is just way too close to the actual color of the orange. I was going to make it white, yellow, and orange, but as we can see, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it white and orange because that color just bleeds through way too much. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is kind of a splotch type pattern. I actually saw a gentleman today that helped us with our car. The engine didn't start up because the battery had gotten knocked loose. A gentleman helped a couple of gentlemen helped us out. One of them had a coat on that had a kind of a gray and black sort of fractal sort of camo. I thought it was a very neat pattern. I'm going to use it today, I suspect. Kind of something like that. Just kind of splotch it along here. Because that yellow's, like I said, it's not gonna. Just kind of using just. Oh, that's way too much white paint. I may regret painting the slide because it may make it hard to get the magazine over it, or the hand grip over it. And we'll see what I can do. So I'll go back over here and do the same thing on this hand grip. So just kind of do kind of a spotted sort of camo. Something fairly simple. Like I said, another channel will be using, will be looking this up, and when they do their video I will link to it so that you guys can see it. I will share it on one of the 3 social media that we're always talking about. So see, now let's go ahead and paint our hand grips. And I'll tell you, I don't really see the reason to paint the back of this now. Sometime this week, because they will come in possession of this thing next week. So sometime. Alright guys, we're back. I had to reset my lighting and stuff on this. As you can see, what we've done here. Now this will fit right up here. At least it should. There it goes. Now, you're going to have to wait for it to dry before I can slide it on good, but it's going to be a lot tighter fit than the previous designs, which means that it should hold itself on there, which is a good thing. It'll also mean a slower rate of fire because it's going to have a lot more drag. But, all in all, not too bad. Not too bad. Now, we're going to go ahead, since I've got it over here and this paint's, I used a thin enough coat of paint that it's dry, we're going to go ahead and splotch this other side up now that I've got some fresh batteries in here. Believe it or not, I've gotten to where painting is one of my favorite parts of this job, of this sort of thing. So, here we go. Like I said, kind of going with kind of a fractal sort of color. I'll put little splotches on it. I'm not exactly sure what the camo scheme is on that, but I saw a gentleman's jacket today that had something very akin to that. So that's what we're going to go with. So, just kind of see what you think about this. So I may end up regretting doing that. But had an idea about halfway through this for a color scheme, and that's what I'm going to do here. Just kind of watch. So let me know, guys, what do you think of this color scheme? There we go. Now, let that dry. And sometime before next Sunday, I will do a range test, probably sometime tomorrow. If you like these videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, if you do subscribe, to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications. Check us out on social media, on Pinterest, Facebook, and Patreon. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and God bless.